the self, the individual experience on this planet is the missing link. And we are at a time and a place where going inside, going into the soul, going into the spirit, going into the psyche, going inside of yourself, that is what will lead you to wisdom. And so then all of the other things that you may feel drawn to do at this point in time will not be merely to serve your own ego or insecurities, to make you feel like, oh, I'm special, look how talented I am, or I can do this and I can do that. Am I special? Do you see me? Am I there? You won't need that because you already know you're there and you feel it. And the emptiness will have been dealt with because you will have gone inside of yourself. You will find emptiness that you didn't know was there because you start to let go of your addictions. You let go of all of the things that kept you going and going and going and believing in the illusion of what the world is as it currently is and what our families are as they currently are or were or what have you. And so interjecting the self, the spiritual self, not the ego self, because that's how it's been manifested up until this point, has been I, me, us, us and them, and all of that. That is not a path to self-discovery, which leads to individualized wisdom, which is what is necessary for healthy us's and healthy thems to work it out. To not act out our collective traumas onto one another. And so all you creative people out there who want to connect with the world through your creativity, heal yourself. You're not here to be a creative artist, creative performer, creative dancer, these sorts of things. You may do that may be your tools, your mediums, but you are meant to heal the world. That's why the success and the fame and all of that isn't working for you right now. It's not your path. Maybe you are meant to be more of a healer, and the universe is waiting for you to heal yourself, because you can't heal the world if you have not healed yourself. You can heal the world in an equal amount of how much you have healed yourself. So if you really want to heal the world, then you really have to heal yourself. And that can be, again, scary. And I go back to that because I think that at least with art, and this is true for any art form, but with visual art, I have been learning that there is a desire to art therapy my way out of my pain. And I love art therapy. I love art journaling. I think it's incredibly helpful, and it acts as like a filter for the emotions. You can pour your emotions through your journal, and then what ends up on the page is like what has been filtered through, what is remaining as your feelings have run through this journal. And so you can really discover a lot about yourself, and at the same time physically see yourself creating something. And it's magical, and it's exhilarating, and it's wonderful. And I commend you for doing that work, because it's scary, and I know a lot of us had a lot of resistances to even beginning. So congratulations. But if you're doing that on a fairly regular basis or anything like that, you're taking the yoga class, you're showing up in your life. That's awesome. But I think a lot of people who are showing up in their life, it's like there's still something that is not quite working for them. they're still not getting the relationship, or their relationships are rocky. They still feel very lonely. They're looking for love. They may find themselves still struggling with addictions, numbing out, with different sort of socially acceptable kinds of drugs, and what else? Or they may isolate and not let anyone in emotionally. And the biggest one, they may still have horrible, dysfunctional, confusing aspects of their life in their relationship with their family of origin. And I think family of origin stuff has kind of gotten swept under the rug. And so I think a lot of women, especially, who are into, the different arts and self-help arting, it's like they have discovered their inner child, and that's so beautiful. And that's, for myself, that's what I've been searching for like the last, I'd say probably since 2000. And I finally found her. I located her. And I would say I've been nurturing her and helping her grow up. And I just feel like she had a birthday, and she's now getting to see what it's like to be an adult, and that it's not that bad and it's not that scary if I'm there to protect her. And the way in which I've learned how to protect this inner child, this inner magical creature that is our inner child, our inner creative children who know how to imagine and play and want to love and be loved, and they, it's the best part of, it's the human soul manifested, I think, in a lot of ways. A lot of people, and myself included, had inner children that were very much afraid to be happy and to be fully expressive and to be fully alive and available in my life, because she'd been hurt. She'd been hurt by different people in the family. Not intentionally, sometimes intentionally, but, my family had issues. They had abusive childhoods in their experience. And so there's just sort of a generational dynamic of some dysfunctional, traumatizing, and, over a slow period of time, kind of numbing experiences and ways of communicating and not sharing. And this goes for families that were relatively normal, and didn't have like alcoholism or, it just had a much more, on the surface, things seemed fine. You were fed, you were taken care of, you were loved, but there was no space to talk about sexuality. There's no space to talk about, fear or anger or sadness. Everybody just did their thing and went to work and watched TV. And that's what they did. That was family. And, we are emotional creatures, and so
let's cut out the melodrama so we can wake up the whole wide world. Let's make up and start all over.